Hi, I'm Ted, Hateful Darkblack on the forums, and I'm here today to give an intro to Von Schill. Von Schill is an interesting model. He is one of the few models in the game, possibly the only model in the game, named after a real historical person. Ferdinand von Schill was a Prussian mercenary who led a group called the Freikorps, who were one of the few Prussians to resist Napoleon occupation, or Napoleonic occupation. Von Schill, as an outcast master, is very well-rounded. He has a crew that can adapt to a lot of different circumstances and has a lot of special traits. He has some synergy with his crew in that within 6 inches, Freikorps models gain a bonus to willpower and something akin to hard to kill. It's mechanically identical to hard to kill, but isn't called hard to kill, so things that ignore hard to kill don't ignore it. Von Schill and most of the Freikorps also have something called the Freikorps armor. And what the Freikorps armor does, it's just armor +1, but it has an additional trait, Freikorps suit, that gives immunity to blasts and pulses. Well, specifically to damage from blasts and pulses. This can be really, really handy. They can bunch up a lot more safely. They're immune to area attacks, at least area attacks that do damage. Von Schill himself is kind of an action hero. He has an ability called Augmented Jump that lets him charge even when engaged, and while he's charging, he can ignore both terrain and other models as he's moving. So he can jump all around the board. He has, his knife attack is very, very strong. It ignores armor, it has a critical hit, and it has a pretty good damage profile. His gun is also quite good. It ignores hard to wounds, and it has a 3-4-5 damage profile, which is quite good. It is a little bit less powerful in terms of maximum damage potential than the knife. So a lot of times when you're using them offensively, you'll probably find yourself using the knife. He has a special ability that lets him, as a 3-action, shoot every enemy in sight. That takes up all of his AP, so he doesn't do it very often because he can't really focus fire on things, and he can't shoot anything twice. So it's only really useful if you have more than 3 enemies within sight, and if all you want to do is shoot each of them once. He also has a 0 ability called Finish the Cur, which makes a friendly model, and he can target himself with this, attack a model with 2 or fewer wounds. So it's good for a finishing blow. He can actually use it just to give himself an extra attack against a very wounded opponent as a 0 action, or he can trigger other Freikorps models nearby to finish off a model. He has some upgrades. One of his very strong upgrades lets him heal himself and cause a terror check. It is the shirt comes off for some Hulk Hogan-style boss fight action. He can also make it so that friendly models get card draw or soul stones if they kill powerful enemy models. So he has a lot of, while he himself is a powerful fighter, he has a lot of stuff that buff and help other Freikorps around him. His totem is even more like that. His totem is called the Steam Trunk, and you'll have to forgive me because I actually use the Discworld luggage to represent it because I was using the metal models before the Steam Trunk came out and because I like the luggage. The Steam Trunk doesn't really do anything. It is insignificant and it has no attacks. It just kind of rolls around. It can be used to get in the way of things. But what it does is, within 4 inches of it, friendly models, the rest of the crew, can use its 0 actions. And its 0 actions can clear out scrapping corpse markers. Its 0 actions can heal, remove poison, and remove burning. So it is kind of a really nice support unit in that way. And it doesn't have Freikorps suit, so it is not immune to blast damage, but it often is kind of a low priority target. The base model of the crew are called the Freikorpsmen, and they are probably the cheapest models in the crew, other than the Totem. They are pretty good scheme runners. They're unimpeded. They have a decent, pretty good clip walk. They have the Freikorps suit, and they have a melee attack that has a trigger that gives them a bonus to defense, so their defense goes from 5 to 7. So if they're stuck in melee, they can actually make themselves quite defensive. They also have a gun that is a pretty decent gun. So they're just kind of a well-rounded unit that gets all the bonuses from Freikorps and is immune to range damage. And, of course, if they're near Von Schill, they've got the bonus to willpower and the hard to kill and a bunch of other good stuff. Moving up from those, however, are some more powerful models in the crew. The Freikorps Specialist is, he has a flamethrower, or as they call it, a Flammenwerfer. He has a lot of offensive potential. He's got attacks with blasts. He can give out burning. He can remove scheme markers. He also has a team buff that he can remove slow and paralyzed from friendly models. It'll do damage to them, but it will remove slow and paralyzed. And just to note, other than Von Schill and the Steam Trunk, the whole crew are mercenaries. So you'll also often find them in other crews, even in other factions. The one that you'll see most often hired by other factions is the Freikorps Trapper. And that's because it's a fairly inexpensive and powerful sniper. They have From the Shadows, so they can deploy anywhere on the board. They have they have a gun attack that gives a built-in positive, and that if you focus, which you probably will want to, has a range of 28 inches, so they can hit just about anywhere. It also has critical hit, so with the right suit and severe damage, it's doing 6 damage with a shot, which, if you're firing and able to pick your targets from the start of the game, can really, really sway the course of the game by killing off key enemy models before the fight really starts. So the Trapper is a very, very nice and flexible sniper. There's also the Librarian. And like most librarians, they are chock full of magical power. The Librarian has the Freikorps suit and has a healing ability that is a pretty good heal. If the Librarian is hired outside the Outcast, they can only heal once, but inside the Outcast, they can heal full twice. The Freikorps Librarian also has solid attack, and yeah, it's just a good all-around model. Also, in the Freikorps is the Strong Arm suit. The Strong Arm suit is a big, heavy hitter model. Like Von Schill, it has the augmented leap, so it can jump across the board, and it can charge while it's in engagement, and it can ignore intervening models and terrain while it's charging. It has a decent ranged attack and a really, really strong melee attack that can also give slow and do a bunch of damage. Additionally, each turn it has a buff that can do one of 3 things. Either increase the accuracy of its ranged attack, increase the damage of its melee attack, or give it a passive damage shield that hurts other things around it. Von Schill's right hand is Hannah. I painted this at a different time, so it's in a different style. Hannah is a very, very potent magician. She's kind of a librarian super plus. She has, like the Librarian, she has a counterspell to remove suits from attacking models. She also removes suits from just any enemy model nearby. She has Arcane Reservoir, so you're drawing an extra card. Her attack is actually a long-range 3-inch melee attack. That's just a pretty strong attack, especially if you focus to get the pretty high severe damage. She can also copy spells from other models. In her own crew, the only models she's really going to copy are either Von Schill or the Librarian, because the crew doesn't have a lot of spells. But in another crew, she might copy friendly spells, and she might copy enemy spells. There are a lot of good spells out there she can copy. She has an upgrade also that can bury models. It can bury an enemy model, leave a counter, and then unbury him at the end of the turn, which can be very, very good to set up positioning or eliminate a scary model for a turn. She does have the Freikorps suit, and she's a henchman, so she can use soul stones to extend her longevity for a little while. And she has a big, crazy power suit. Speaking of big, crazy power suits, the last member of the Freikorps I'm going to talk about is Lazarus. So Lazarus was originally created by the guild, and he escaped them. As a result of that, he is a mercenary, but the guild can never hire him because he just hates the guild that much. And in fact, no master who's part of the guild can hire him, even if they're dual faction and in the other faction. Lazarus is fascinating. He's got a pretty good ranged attack. It's actually a very solid ranged attack. It does a bunch of damage. It can blast, and he can shoot 3 times as a 2 action. It's better than rapid fire because he can change targets. It's called auto fire. He also has a pretty solid melee attack that can also do blasts with a trigger. He's got a lot of armor. He's got armor +2. He has the ability to heal himself, and he has the ability to copy other constructs. Now, there aren't a lot of other constructs in the standard Freikorps crew, so it's not useful in this crew, but when you hire him as a mercenary, he's often copying whatever abilities from other constructs, whether those be attacks or something else. He can't use it on himself to copy his own attacks, but he can copy other constructs' attacks, both friendly and enemy. He's not fast, but he's very, very durable and just lives a long, long time. There is one more Freikorps model. I don't have the model built right now, and it's actually not an Outcast model. It's Anna Lovelace, who is, in the story, Hannah's sister. And she is a Freikorps model, but doesn't actually have a ton of synergy with the rest of the crew, so I'm not going to talk about her much beyond just mentioning her. So that's the crew for the most part. Von Schill kind of ties everything together, and he leaves her around solving problems. Typically, if you hire the Steam Trunk, it kind of has a cluster of other models and supports them. Freikorpsmen are the base level troops. They can run schemes or solve problems as they go, and just are good flexible units. The Specialist does range damage and gets rid of things that might be a problem. The Trapper is a sniper. The Librarian is both a healer and a casting attacker. The Freikorps suit jumps up and smashes you in the face or shoots you at a distance and surprises you because you didn't think it could do that. Hannah is a really good beat stick that copies spells and buries things. And Lazarus is a crazy durable turret. I hope this is helpful for you, whether you're interested in playing Von Schill or maybe facing it soon. You now have an idea of how it works. It's a well-rounded crew that doesn't care about area attacks and all support each other. Thank you very much.